So I want to walk you through how I organize music and prepare for a wedding. So I got a wedding tomorrow. They got a lot of detailed playlists. Now here's the playlist. Are you ready? We got a hype song, bride's hype songs. We got guest requests. We got groom's parents requests, like what they like. There's 10 songs in there. We got bride's parents songs. There's like 18 in there. Yep. We got older genre, but still love, so oldies. Then we have just general songs they want to hear throughout the wedding, if I can. And then we got the dinners. Before you go in the comments and start flaming this couple or flaming me and saying, oh, you know, I like detailed playlists, I know what's best. I tell my couples you get 7 songs and 7 songs only, and that's it. Other than those 7 songs, I pick the rest. I'm the professional. Don't agree with that, bro, okay? I start every wedding clean slate. I want it to be what they want. I push for these playlists. I actually ask for these playlists. This is what I want so I can really create a unique experience for them and the guests, okay? I don't want to get caught playing the same shit every weekend. It's not how you progress. Trust me, all right? And number 2, I guarantee you a lot of the songs in this playlist, there's going to be some bangers I forgot about that I get to add to my own crates. You know what I mean? So you come across a song, it's like, holy shit. And even if it's a song you never played for dancing before, I'll have the balls to play it because it's on their list. And then if I play it and it goes off and it does well, now I got a new song to add to the crates and I'm confident in playing it because I've tried it before for a crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how you grow. Always do this, DJs. All right, maybe I'm crazy and I take too much time, but whatever. Trust me, we're going to rip through this too. I'm going to show you everything. So what I do is, first of all, I'm going to make a detailed crate system here in my Serato. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to cherry pick all the bangers out of this and all the like unique type stuff, right? That's the first thing I'm going to do, kind of just cherry pick. If it's like a one-off song, I know it's never going to work in a million years, you know, then I'm going to kind of like skip over that. And then also like in the paperwork, we'll also get like detailed do not plays. We're going to get detailed must plays that like, you know, kind of got to play no matter what. And then, you know, everything else is just kind of free reign. So I still have the freedom. Like I have notes here, like they want me to rickroll everybody. They love Creed and Nickelback. There's a couple Bruce songs that I should definitely play. The parents and everything will love that. So definitely a must play for Bruce. Shout from Animal House or whatever. That's a must play for their family. Okay, no problem. So like those are the stuff like I'm going to do no matter what. But beyond that, I'm just going to go through and have fun with it and see what I can do with this list, you know, and kind of organize it and take it from there. So we're going to start with crates. So we go over here to my Serato. I'm going to make a bunch of different Serato crates. I'm not even going to count it out. We're going to start with their name, right? So we got Jess and Nate is their names. We need a formalities crate, right? That's for their first dance and all that stuff. We need a dinner crate. We need a dancing crate. And then under the dancing, we'll have must play, okay? Then we'll have bride's hype songs, because she had a list for that. Then we'll have parents of the bride songs. Then we'll have parents of the groom songs, okay? Put them in a separate folder because I want to make sure they're around when I play them. So, you know, I don't have to play them twice. If it's like a real song they really wanted, I played it. Oh, I wasn't in the room. Can you play it again? Like, you ever been there? Sucks. You don't want that, okay? Then we have guest requests. So I know it's kind of separate. And there's going to be overlap, I'm sure. And what else we got? And we got oldies there. So we'll do oldies. And then I'll make a folder for slow songs in case I slow it down once or twice. Just in case. Doesn't happen often. And then we're going to organize this. So we want everything to be under Jess and Nate here. So we're going to just slide everything under here. But then we're going to take dancing, and must play is going to be under dancing. Bride's hype songs, parents of the bride songs, parents of the groom songs, guest requests, and oldies. That'll all be under dancing. We may make other folders once we go through. Because what I like to do is, like, if I have a in-depth list, I like to kind of organize it just in case I want to keep a certain lane going. Like, so if they have a good amount of hip hop in their list, I might make a hip hop folder. If they have a good amount of Latin in their list, I might make a Latin crate, and so on. Because, you know, it's tough to go through huge lists and like, oh wow, this one reggaeton song is going crazy. I know there was more. Where is it? Where is it? And you're scrolling through. You know what I mean? So it's easier just to have it kind of categorized that way. And then with dinner in particular, I'm going to start with dinner. I'm going to cherry pick all the songs I think would work great and all that. And then like I'm also going to take that, now that I have it a list, I can just drag it onto the desktop, certain songs, and I can make a pre-made little dinner mix too in DJ Studio that I can use to go eat real quick, you know, and I always kind of do that. So I'll have like a 15-minute break at some point if I need it, if it works out, that is. Now I'm just going to go through and load all this stuff up. So here we go. All right, so I just finished going through the dinner list. I cherry picked 27 songs. I cherry picked an additional 2 songs for slow songs, Tennessee Whiskey and At Last, so I put it in the slow folder instead of dinner. I'm going to be more than enough for 27. I'll basically pick a solid 6 songs out of here and make a little mix with it just in case I need it. But beyond that, I'm just going to run with this for dinner. And then the only other thing I got to do is basically go through the parents list. So we got the groom parents and the bride's parents list, and I want to see if there's any songs in there that would work for dinner. All right, so update. I just went through the parents playlist, and they seem to be in, especially bride's parents is into like the oldies, like in the '60s and stuff. So what I'm gonna do with this is, I don't typically play this during dancing anymore. It depends on the crowd. Obviously, like I can do a whole oldie set, like Run Around Sue and stuff like that, and like get some of that in for that. And I may do that at this wedding. Just depends. But I'm also in the case where I really can't squeeze a lot of this in, because the bride has a huge playlist too, and if it's younger and this is 2025 now, it's actually kind of odd. Not odd, but it's uncommon for parents now to request songs in the 60s, because a lot of parents now are, if they're 50 years old, they grew up late 80s, early 90s, maybe late 90s. You know what I mean? Like parents nowadays can rap Eminem. It's kind of crazy because it's 2025 now, right? It's just how life works. So, but they're into the oldies. That's great. So my backup plan for this is during dessert. Dessert is a great time for oldies. So if I want to kind of squeeze some of this stuff in, right, and make sure it gets played, then like worst case, if I can't do it during the dance set, once we cut cake and do dessert, I'm going to lead dessert with that song. I'm going to do a whole oldie set like Motown, because it's not super hard. Like it's like, whoa, why is this guy playing like these crazy bangers? And it's not really time to dance. But at the same time, people still get up and dance, have a good time. It fits that moment, and I'll knock everything out right there. So that's my game plan with that anyway. So now I got all the parent stuff down. I'm going to move on to the guest requests. And then after guest requests, I'm going to do the bride's request, and then the oldies, knock all that out, and I'll let you know what I find here. So here we go. Back to work. All right, cool. So we lined up the bride's hype songs here. So we got Man, I Feel Like a Woman, Peanut Butter Jelly, Dosis and Mimosis. This is a pretty cool remix of it. It's the Vintage Culture and Zerky remix. Take Me Home, Cash Cash, Any Man of Mine. That is straight up Texas Roadhouse country right there. White Houses, banger. She likes the song What's Up. I don't know if I'm going to play the Olive Oil remix, the original, or the DJ Miko one. So I put all three in here just in case. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Born to Run. And then the ones that I'm not sure about, we got Untouched by Veronica's. So I'm going to have to come up with like an idea. Anytime there's like a song where, I'm like, I'm going to play that. Like, I'm going to get that. I never did it before. I try and come up with a cool idea with it, or at least a game plan on how to get in and how to get out, just in case. And then the new Chapel Roan song, which I just downloaded, The Giver. Never even heard it yet, but I just put it in here to add to my thing in a second. So we got that. Quick update, I'm going through guest requests, and I just came across Boogie Oogie Oogie by A Taste of Honey, right? Classic disco right there. Great song, right? Not a song that any younger people would really know. I only know it because I DJ. Wasn't there. So what I'm going to do is I started a new crate. It's called Doors Open. This is going to be what Santi always, my assistant Santi always plays the Doors Open while I'm getting the wedding party together for formalities and everything. Doors Open is basically when the guests come from cocktail hour, which is in a separate room, into the reception, right? I like to play upbeat music then, get people bopping, because we're about to do the grand introductions and all that stuff. So I just started a Doors Open folder, because I figure while people are walking in, we could play some of the classics that they requested, and at least I played it. I could say I played it, and that's it, because I wouldn't want to really do that peak hour. Certain things that are a little too deep, I can lose half the room in the middle of the dance set. Not worth the risk for a guest request, but great for when people are walking in the room, Sexy walk all the way to your seat, all the way to the chair. All right, so quick update. I pretty much have every playlist done, and I'm just going through the really big request one, right? The general request one, and I'm kind of cherry picking from there. And one thing to keep in mind, too, is, as far as like playing remixes that aren't requested or doing certain things, you got to look for similarities. Like, for example, she loves country, the bride. She likes country, right? So she likes that I Had Some Help song. She also had Reload on there, which is like a EDM kind of drop song. Well, shout out to Smash. He has a Reload edit where it goes from I Had Some Help into the Reload drop. Da-na-na. You know what I mean? It kind of goes right through that drop. So instead of playing one song or the other, I'm going to play the combination of the both, and it's probably going to make her really excited. You know what I mean? Like, look for similarities like that, and as you're going through, you can see that, and like, wow, this edit would actually work perfect. They love every aspect of this edit. Like, they requested both songs, and that's kind of how I go about it. There's a handful of remixes that I think are better than the originals. DJ Got Us Falling in Love, the Burnout remix, is better than the original, in my opinion. So I kind of always play that. If they ask for DJ Guys Falling in Love, I don't play the original. I play that. But there's very few. There's very few of those. You know, it's kind of it's just from trial and error. I know it's going to work every time. I know it just hits better on a loud, you know, a big wedding system or whatever. And that's kind of how I determine it, you know. But beyond that, I kind of stick to the original versions. And I think, you know, it can really pay dividends to play the original versions of a lot of songs. Another example of that on their list, I just added it, that's why I remembered, is Temperature by Sean Paul. I recently started playing the original. I actually was listening to DJ Digital Dave's wedding, live at a wedding mix or whatever, and he played the original. And I was like, oh shit, because if you remember, the original goes, Sean Paul, I don't want to get flagged on YouTube, but the original starts like this. Everybody knows the original. The girl them skill Sean Paul, then we give it to, you know what I mean? Like, people know that. And forever, I was playing an intro edit, just the intro edit, which basically goes like this. It's just, you know, and then it goes right into the, right? Worked great. I'm not saying it's not going to work, but when I started playing the original of that, it was 10 times more effective because from the first note, you know, people knew it because that's how they listened to it on the radio. That's how they heard the song a million bajillion times. You know what I mean? Regular people don't listen to DJ edits. Regular people don't listen to intro edits. They listen to the actual song. So anytime you could squeeze in the original song, do it. It's going to pay dividends. Another huge tip I can give you is make sure you include songs that are going to give you a little bit of a lull. Like don't just, when you have a huge list, right, and you're cherry picking like I'm doing right now, right, because I obviously can't play all these songs, don't just cherry pick the 10s, right? Don't just, you know, by energy, I mean, like don't just cherry pick the songs that are at level 10 when it comes to energy. It's just not going to work. You see, you need to have lulls. You need to mix like this, right? Bring them up, bring them down, bring them up, bring them down. Just like a roller coaster. Picture it. You're at Six Flags. You get on a roller coaster. It goes all the way up and it just stays up there and that's it. There's no drop. Would that be a fun roller coaster? No, it wouldn't. Okay? You need the drops. You need the dips. Now, by dips, I mean off songs. But that are great sing-alongs, that are bangers, like the T-Pain stuff. Like she has Buy You a Drink on here. That's a perfect song to bring the energy down, give it a lull. People catch their breath. Maybe some people go to the bar, you know, grab a drink, but like while they're there, they're going to sing along, you know what I mean? And then you bring the energy back up. Pocket Full of Sunshine's on her list. I'm adding that. That's a great one, you know what I mean? It does have a good, take me away, you know, but in the beginning, it's kind of a lull. Like I want that. Like I'm purposely cherry picking not just the 10s, all right, not just the 10 out of 10 energy level songs, but also maybe the 5 out of 10s that are still hits, that are great sing-alongs, so I can just keep going up and down all night. And that's how you keep people going. That's the secret to longer dance sets. Now, if you just have 20 minutes to dance them, yeah, you could just no lube, just right in their face, 10 the whole time, and get away with it for sure. You might not have like a ton of time to do a lull there. But if it's 2 hours straight after dinner, 3 hours straight, all you people out in Europe and Asia or whatever, and you got these crazy, I'm assuming drug-filled weddings where you guys have 5, 6, 7 hour dance sets. I mean, all you guys tell me that all the time. Like, that's how you got to do it. You got to have lulls, you know? And a lull doesn't always mean a slow song. A lot of DJs will be energy 10, and then they wear everybody out, and then it's like, oh, they're worn out. Let me just play a slow song. And then you drop it down to like 0.5 energy, and then bring it back up to a 10. That's too much. You need foreplay, okay? You need just, you know what I mean? Trust me. Don't lean on the slow songs like that. Bring it down with some R&B. Bring it down with one of those white girl pop hits from 2009, you know? Trust me. All right, people, so all the requests are done, all the playlists are done, and now I'm going to have some fun here because, so I have everything laid out, and it's cool too, like all the oldies, there's a lot of good oldies in there that I can lean on, so I have so much to do at this wedding, like if it's, you know, older early on, I can make the older people happy, and I can use that as glue to kind of paste the rest of the stuff together, so at the end of the day, if you're going to have older requests like this, you know, you're going to have older people that aren't exactly going to like the Mac Millers and the God's Plans and stuff like that. So to be able to play a lot of this stuff is really going to help me kind of, you know, bring this whole thing together. But now let's have some fun. So the couple, in addition to this, really like Adam Sandler and his movies. So what I want to do is I'm downloading some of the clips from his movies and I'm going to incorporate them in some of my mixes, right? Like one clip I'm getting right now is Today Junior, right? I'm going to do that. I'm going to download The Price is Wrong, bitch, right? From The Price is Wrong. Yeah, I'm bringing this up, right? So I'm basically downloading these clips and using them as sound bites, and I'm going to incorporate them in my mixes at some point throughout the night just to make it fun because they love it. They're going to think it's hilarious. It's going to catch everybody off guard, and they're going to stop like, what? But it's just, I don't know, just something that's fun, you know? I don't usually do edits ahead of time, like where I'm gonna have this preset in a song, and then I play that whole song as an edit. I usually do it live, but it just depends. I'm gonna go through and see if I can come up with some cool ideas with some of these little clips, these little one-liners that he has. And yeah. All right, people, so I'm finished. So I'm going to show you the final product here. So we're going to go to the computer. So Jess and Nate, we got the formalities all lined up, pre-queued. Doors open for Santi, just a couple songs to play, and then he can do his thing. Dinner is going to be pretty in-depth, got a lot of good stuff in here. And then I also made a mix separate, and then dancing. So broke everything down, ready to go, lots of fire stuff. And my favorite part about this whole thing is the Adam Sandler stuff. So let me explain the Adam Sandler stuff. As I mentioned before, they love Adam Sandler movies, and basically I took 4 quotes. I have one quote that I don't have an idea for that's just going to be, if I figure it out right, it's going to be this one.
And by the way, Mama, alligators are ornery because they're medulla oblongata.
I basically like ripped these off YouTube, and then I ran them through a stem software to get rid of any background noise. And then I raised the volume on them, you know, so they're more like, it's going to sound good, you know, sound decent at least over the speakers and stuff. So I got that one, but here's my ideas for the other stuff, okay? So for The Price is Wrong, check this out, ready?
The price is wrong, bitch.
Okay, Animals, I put Today Junior in this one, so this is my idea for this, right?
Today, Junior.
Okay, and then my other idea is gonna be I Like Boobies, right? So from The Water Boy.
And I like Vicky, and she likes me back. And she showed me her boobies, and I like them too.
Okay, right? So then I have a cue at I Like Them Too, and then I'm gonna do this one live, and I'm basically gonna bring in I Like It Like That, like this. So it's gonna be like,
I like them too. I like them too.
get it? So these are my ideas. That's pretty much it, people. So we're all planning for this wedding. All I got to do is show up tomorrow on time and execute. So should be fun. Thank you for joining me on this little journey of prepping for a wedding. If you got any tips, leave them below and whatnot. As always, comment, like, subscribe. Love you all. See you at the next one.
I like Vicky, and she likes me back. And she showed me her boobies, and I like them too.